How to establish a brand in the marketplace. Hi, my name is Mike, and I talk about branding. Crafting a compelling brand is more than just fancy logos and visuals. It's about connecting with your audience on an emotional level with a story. And that connection and story will set you apart from the competition. So let's dive into how you can establish a brand in the market today without a lot of fluff, just straight to the points. First, you're going to need to understand the basics of branding. Your brand is your personality, your values, your mission, and the promise that you give to your customers. It's the space in their minds that they hold for you and your brand. And what does that space say up there? Hopefully it's good. A strong brand builds loyalty, it builds community, and it also commands a premium price. So you're going to have to start with knowing your target audience and your market extremely well. Who are they? What do they need? What are their demographics? Their age, sex, location? What are their psychographics? Their interests, their value, their lifestyles? Knowing all these things is crucial if you want to speak to them in a way that they're going to listen to you. Next, you're going to want to conduct market research. Know what your competitors are doing, what's working for them, what's not working for them. You can build off their shoulders and skip a lot of the guesswork. Now compare them to you. What makes you guys different? Where can you stand out? Where's a community that they're not servicing? Can you service them? Go do surveys, go do interviews, look at social media, look at the comments. What are people saying about these brands? Do your research, write it down, know your competitors and the market. The next is positioning your brand. You want to intentionally position your brand in the market above and below your competitors and service a part of the market that isn't being served very well. You're going to want to have a unique value proposition to pull in these customers from the bottom and the top into your little section of the market. Next, you're going to want to take all this data and craft an amazing brand identity. You want to have a great name. You want to have a great logo. You want to have an amazing visual identity. It's the first thing that people see when they interact with your product or service. You want to be memorable. You want it to be simple, and you want it to be relevant to the people that you're talking to. And next, you're going to want to create a compelling tagline. A good tagline is going to sum up your brand in just a few words, making it impactful and memorable. It'll also make it easy for people, friends, family, employees, brand advocates, customers to tell other people what you do. Next, you're going to want to figure out what your brand voice is. What's your tone of voice? How do you come across to people? Authoritative, informative, informal, neutral, mad, sarcastic, mean. Your brand voice is a huge spectrum that you can choose from. What kind of tone do your customers want to be spoken to in? If it's a fun young brand, you can be sarcastic, you can be humorous. If you're a medical practice, you're going to need to be very professional, very buttoned up, and you're going to need to invoke trust in people. After you know your voice, it's time to get into some visuals. After you figured out your identity, your voice, your brand, what? No. After you figured out your identity, your tagline, your logo, your brand voice, all that kind of stuff, next it's time to build a website. Your website should be visually appealing. It should be easy to navigate and have an amazing user experience, which can just be simple, by the way, and it needs to clearly communicate your brand's message, your product, and your service, the benefits and what people are getting in a nice, easy to consume way. Now that that's up, it's time to start marketing. You're going to want to utilize social media. Where does your target market hang out? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it TikTok? Make sure you focus your efforts on the platform that your audience is on. And then use tools like Descript to split up the content into other platforms. My cornerstone social media is YouTube. Where's your audience at? Let me know in the comments. Now that you have your website, it's time to do some SEO. If people are actively searching for services that you deliver and you're not coming up in the search engines, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. You're going to want to do some research on SEO, watch a few videos, read a book or two, and start implementing some keyword and query targeted articles. Make sure your content is SEO'd. Make sure your case studies are SEO'd. SEO can be frustrating because results are not immediate and they never will be. You'll be thanking yourself later for putting in the effort now. Now that we have all of that set up, it's time to start doing some content marketing. Get yourself a camera and microphone and start making some videos. Incorporate your brand story into the videos. Get people emotionally attached to what you're doing, and they'll tune in for more later on. People like to buy things from people that they know, so let people get to know you. Now that you have this machine running, you have marketing going, you should have sales coming in. And when those sales come in, and when those customers come in, or even just leads come in and you lose them, they're going to have feedback for you. What is that feedback? How can you take that feedback and make your product or your service better? How can you make your customers experience better with that feedback? Don't get mad when you get it. Just write it down and try to analyze how you can use this as an opportunity to make more money with your product or your service. So now you have several balls in the air, you're juggling all kinds of things, and you want to make sure that all of those things that you have going, your website, your content marketing, your logo, your messaging, everything that you're doing, it needs to be consistent. Consistency is key here. You need to do the research, implement the strategy, and then stick to it. Make sure that you're not just being willy-nilly with your colors, with your photo choices, with what you're saying, with your tone of voice. Make sure it's consistent. If you put out different posts that sound different, that look different, people are not going to understand that it's from the same company. The brand equity that you could have gained by being consistent will be lost upon people because they'll be filing these things in their brain as two different companies when in reality it was the same one. So make sure you stay consistent. Establishing a strong brand is a journey. It's definitely not a one-time effort. It's going to change and evolve as you move along, just like we said with just feedback as an example. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you need to start with solid foundations, a solid strategy, and a solid tactical implementation of what you want to do. Make sure you stay true to your brand values. It's always easy to forget about them before you post something. So just read them real quick before you write content. Make sure it lines up with what you're doing. Always remember to strive to deliver exceptional value for your customers, and you're going to be okay. You're going to build an amazing brand if you just stay true to your customers. Your brand really can be your business's most valuable asset. So make sure you nurture it, make sure you treat it well, and make sure that you don't let it slip because you could be losing out on sales, and nobody wants you to lose out on sales. If you need help with branding, shoot me a DM. My name is Mike. Thanks so much for watching.